had my wedding out here May 5th. It was beautiful. Mr. Richard is amazing to work with, very attentive to detail, and keeps everything very nice and neat out here.
Mr. Nesbitt is a top-notch fella. He's very honest, a wonderful person to do business with. He makes everything easy.
He always makes sure it's in tip-top shape. I definitely would recommend Mr. Nesbitt and this place.
We're conveniently located just 1 mile off Interstate 16 on Highway 19. Let our team take care of every detail of your next event. Call us today at 278-1295 or 278-1217. Renesda Banquets and Events, 1827 Highway 19 South, just 1 mile south of Interstate 16 in Dublin.
We are honored today to have representation of all of our school systems in Lawrence County, and we're looking forward to hearing what each one has to say. And without further ado, I'm going to ask Mr. Heath Taylor to come up and introduce each speaker.
Our first speaker today is with the Lawrence County School System, Dr. Daniel Brigham.
It's a pleasure to be with you today, and it is truly a blessing to be called Superintendent of Lawrence County Schools. Since my arrival in November, I've experienced several opportunities, not challenges or problems, but I call them opportunities for continuous improvement in our school system. Once I arrived here, I immediately started to reach out and get to know who's in Lawrence County, what makes up this great county that we call home. This is a tremendous county with awesome potential, not only because of the chemistry and the personalities of the leadership throughout this county and the cities, but it's our geographic location. We are in a phenomenal location, close to the beach, close to the mountains, so my family and I are excited to be here. Several things that have occurred since my arrival as an ongoing review with our efforts to promote literacy. I really have to lift up my partner, not partner in crime, but my colleague, Dr. Fred Williams, and his initiatives to promote literacy, Dublin City, excuse me. We're doing the same thing in Lawrence County as well. We were fortunate to have landed a grant from our friends at the Georgia Department of Education. It is a grant to promote literacy, early literacy all the way through the elementary grades. We received about $2.4 million to support these efforts. Reading is the focus in Lawrence County, especially in grades K through 2. I call that our intensive care unit. That's where the magic in terms of learning how to read really occurs. So we're trying to look at our resources in our early elementary schools to make sure every child in our buildings are reading at or around their same grade level by the time they enter grade 3. By the time students take that state milestone, 4 academic years have passed. So that's really a lagging indicator about how kids are doing compared to their peers across the state and within the county. So we're trying to deploy DIBELS, which is an early indicator to give us an idea of where kids are reading in terms of is it an academic challenge or a developmental challenge. In terms of those 5 pieces of balanced literacy is what we're looking at. It takes money and it takes people. To support our reading efforts, we've also contracted with an outside consultant to come in and look and see exactly how we're spending our instructional day in Lawrence County. Since November, we've partnered with Dr. Robert Lynn Kennedy, Professor Emeritus of the University of Virginia. He's been down several times to look at how we're structuring our school day. How many minutes are in the day? Are we devoting enough time on a continuous basis to promote literacy and to give students that timely support to keep them from falling behind in pre-K all the way through grade 8? So we've had some great success. You've probably experienced some groans or heard some groans and complaints about some schedule changes, a longer school day, longer drop-off lines. That's because we've tried to build in these recovery blocks in the instructional day while we have the kids with us. We have 73% of our kids that are from backgrounds of poverty. So to keep kids in school and keep them engaged is our biggest challenge. To think they can come after school and have parental support to pick them up is not going to happen. That's very challenging for us. So we revised our school schedules, K-12, to focus on literacy in the early elementary grades. Middle schools, we're looking at exploratory periods, or what we call connections, to give kids an opportunity to access vocational courses, technology courses, and to connect in that middle school environment because kids often disengage in the middle schools. We're trying to find all of our students an opportunity to connect to the school in some form or fashion in the middle schools. If they'll do that, They will graduate on time with their peers, and they will pass all their courses, research shows. At the high school level, we're blessed to have partnered with the Career Academy to expand CTAE offerings. We're fortunate to have welding offered this year. We also have nursing offered and several other programs in partnership with the Career Academy. So we're growing as a school system in terms of program expansion. At the high school as well, we've transitioned to a 4x4 block. And most people say, why did you change back to a block? The block schedule is aligned with our partners in higher education to promote dual enrollment. And it is possible today for incoming freshmen to graduate our high schools and receive an associate's degree free of charge simultaneously. I've seen that multiple times, and we're on that pathway to make sure that all of our students have access to those dual enrollment courses. That couldn't be done without a strong partnership with our higher education institutions right here in Lawrence County, so we're very thankful for that. In addition to the block schedule, we're looking at utilization of personnel across the district too, to try to make sure we have as many resources at the school level and not at the top. So in our organizational review, I've absorbed 2 top leadership positions to try to recover $250,000 to put right back into the schools. We've added an assistant principal at the East Lawrence campus in the primary school. We've added the middle school principal back. We've added some arts and some music positions to the East campus. We've also allocated an additional funding to support instructional supplies in the amount of about $165,000 to offset that parental obligation of buying resources at the beginning of the school year. So we've done a lot over the past 6 months in terms of operational efficiency, program offerings for all of our kids throughout the school system. And as you all know very well, school safety has been in the forefront of what we're doing in Lawrence County. 6,576 kids get out of cars and off buses every day and walk into our classrooms and expect us to feed them, educate them, and make sure that they're safe. So that safety issue is a priority throughout Lawrence County schools. We continually look at our safety drills and our safety protocol to make sure that we're prepared. God forbid a major incident happens in our school, from storms to intruders. So I can confidently say we refined our safety plans, and we're continually going to refine them to make sure that all of our students and staff remain safe in Lawrence County schools. As I alluded to, we're growing. We have a net gain of about 40 kids this year in the Lawrence County schools. We're at 6,576. I mentioned the new programs, criminal justice. We have 48 students enrolled at the Career Academy. We have 21 students in the welding program. And we also are blessed to have a JROTC program that's recently been approved at West Lawrence High School to give those kids connections to another program that could also impact their career decisions. So we're blessed to have JROTC started already. They're planning right now, and our first cohort of students will be enrolled in January in that JROTC program. And that program is fully funded by the federal government, so we're blessed. I mentioned block schedules. That's also improving the safety of the campuses at our high school level. We are also looking at expanding learning opportunities for our kids through the implementation of coding. We're making sure all second graders have access to a coding course and successfully complete that by the end of second grade. So those are a few of the improvements that we're doing throughout the Lawrence County school system. Again, it's a pleasure and an honor to be called superintendent of the Lawrence County school systems, and I look forward to continuous progress here in the county.
Welcome to Pitts Toyota, downtown Dublin, where people go to buy great cars at great prices. We're a family-owned and operated full-service automobile dealership, serving Middle Georgia since 1947.
It's our promise to provide you with an enjoyable, stress-free shopping experience. We have a full-service website that's fast, convenient, and easy to navigate.
We provide a balance between the big city selection and the warm, familiar atmosphere of a hometown business.
Toyota, let's go places.
Portions of this program are brought to you by Fairview Park Hospital, a leader in healthcare for Dublin, Lawrence, and surrounding communities, providing specialty services through facilities such as our Sleep Center, Heart Center, and Women's Imaging Center.
Our next speaker this morning is Eric Canada with the Heart of Georgia College and Career Academy.
Before we leave, I want you to know 3 things. What are we, where are we, and why are we? That's what we want to find out about the Career Academy. What is a Career Academy? Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle years ago decided that we needed to have an opportunity for our districts to get together to form a career academy, which for you and I, when we went to school, that was vocational classes, shop classes, okay? It's the same type classes. It's the same thing. We are more focused on not only just having classes, but giving our students the opportunity to start a career. Okay, and I tell them all the time, it's not just about a class, it's not just about you going out and finding a job. What we want to do through the Career Academy is start you on a career path. And sometimes that career path may be the one that you've chosen, that you do with us and you enjoy, and we can help you all the way through to find a job, to get an extra education, to keep moving, or you may find out what you don't want to do. And both of them are very important for you as you move forward in life. But what are we? We are a charter school program that is multi-district. In other words, I work for Dublin City, but I also work for Lawrence County. We have students from Lawrence County and Dublin City that come out there together and take classes. Right now we have 3 programs, as Dr. Brigman already mentioned. We have a nursing program that we actually have out there. It's our healthcare, and you start out with taking healthcare classes where you can learn and become a nurse if you want to, or to go into other healthcare fields. We also have criminal justice or law and public safety. That is our biggest program right now, where our students are coming out in the variety of jobs that you can have. Because when I hear criminal justice, I think they're all wanting to be police officers. No, they may want to go into be a lawyer or a judge, a police officer, probation and parole. They may go in the military. We give them that background, okay? And with that background, they can choose one of those. And our newest program we have out there is welding. And we're going to talk, I'll tell you a little bit more about our welding program as we go on. But what are we? We are a program, we are a place that we try to find out through industry, what are our needs in this town? What do we need locally for workforce? We find out workforce needs, and then we try to find a way to develop a program that can meet those workforce needs. And that's what we do. Okay, where are we? That's a simple one. We're located in the Old West Lawrence High School. We're one wing of that high school. And we rent that, or we have that position from Lawrence County School Systems. When they went in years ago to decide what they wanted, they chose that facility. They remodeled it for the Career Academy, and that's where we're located. We bus students out there every day. Both systems are busing students. This year, for the first time, we're busing them multiple times a day, which is something we've done and we've improved and we're doing. It used to be just one time, they came and they left. Now they're coming out there throughout the day. Now, why do we do it? Again, what do you need in this town? What type of workforce do you need to have? Can we help you develop it? Can we help you to find it? That's the whole gist of what we're trying to do. Give our students the opportunities to go out into the community, let them know what's around here, and develop those skills so they can find employment. That is the gist of what we're doing. The programs we have, we talked about, the welding program is one that you'll see for us, that's a model of what we want, because we met with the industry, we talked with the industry in this area, and we found out there is a need for welders. If you talk to some of the construction guys that do welding, then they tell you, basically, we turn down work because we don't have enough welders. Well, then there is a definite need to have students learn welding. One of the reasons we didn't have welding, Oconee Fall Line has always offered a welding. They have a welding program. The problem there, they don't have very many students in their welding program. So what we saw was our little niche in there, that we can start a high school welding program. We talked with the industry, we saw the need. We can take and we can develop students, we teach them to weld, and they can take the skill they learned in the high school courses to Oconee Fall Line to develop their skills, to earn certifications, and then they can become a hireable employee. To make it work, we partnered with the industry. The industry that said they had the need, then we had to sit down and talk with them. How can you help us start it? A welding program is expensive. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of effort. It took a lot to get it going. And so we partnered with our industry, with Dublin Construction, with Wild Boar, and with Morris Bank. And they all have helped us with donations, with equipment, with money, whatever we need. And through our systems and what our systems put in it, that we've started a welding program, and we currently have about 30 students taking welding for the first time at the Career Academy. And the first time in Lawrence County in a long time that there's been a welding program started. In all of our programs that we have, a key component of what we want to do is we try to set up apprenticeships for our students. An apprenticeship is basically, just breaking it down, as a part-time job. It's a part-time job, and we're getting skill training in class and getting to put that to work. And we're doing that. Again, with our welding program, and one of the things that kicked this off is we had one student last year that we went to Dublin Construction and said, hey, we want you to start an apprenticeship. Can you work with us to give this student an opportunity to come out here and work part-time a couple of days a week, just so you start teaching him what he needs to know in the actual job? He started last year, he did that, he went through the school year, and I think he worked 2 to 3 days a week after school. This summer, he worked with them all summer long doing it. He's actually a little older than what we want to start him at because he was a senior. When he graduated and worked this summer, well, Dublin Construction hired him full-time. That's what we want to do. We want to develop a way that our students can go from having a high school technical skill training, hopefully going to a technical college to get more certification and earn their degree that leads them to a job. And in there, we want to apprentice as many students as we can because that just helps you train them before they come to you. And they learn exactly what you want. And talking to you like, well, we don't have anything. We can't do anything like that. You'd be surprised. Talk to me. See what we can work out. We're doing a pilot program through Dublin High School this year that's called GPP, Great Promise Partnership. One of our partners at the Career Academy is Marcia Dixon and Flexsteel. They've been involved in helping us with a lot of things, but the technical jobs they have don't relate to technical skill training that we can go through a Coney Fall line a lot of times. But through the GPP program, we have them now hiring 3 of our students that will come out there and they will work part of the day, and they start out with just entry-level positions, not skill-level positions, entry-level positions, so that they can learn how to come to work, learn how to be an employee, learn how to do the little things that you want to do, and hopefully that'll lead them to finding the technical training there or to getting that skill that they can then take to another employee or somewhere else. So there's different types of programs, what I'm trying to say, that we can have that can help you. Do we need your help? Yes, all the time. But our bottom line is, what can we do for you? That's what we try to do at the Career Academy. It's a little different. So if you have opportunities, you have ideas, you have things, come and see us because we make and work out some type of apprenticeship program, something we can do with you. That for us right now is a big part of our whole Career Academy model and what we're trying to do. But again, I thank you for letting me come today. What are we? We are a multi-district Career Academy. That's unique in Georgia. There's not many. Where are we? The Old West Lawrence High School. And why? Because we're out here to try to help industry and people find the employees they need for their work. And if we can help you in that way, please come see us and let us know.
At Meadows, we believe cancer is a time to come together. So from diagnosis, we pair patients with a nurse navigator to provide support and be a guide throughout the entire treatment process. We unite the area's top oncologists, surgeons, and support specialists on one team to chart a course of treatment for each individual case. We combined chemotherapy and some of the newest radiation technology, including the area's only CT simulator for precisely targeted treatment in one facility. And we welcome loved ones to remain side by side in comfortable, light-filled treatment rooms and family areas. Here, we believe in joining forces to fight cancer. So we've united advanced treatment and support services in one comforting healing center that is close to the greatest comfort of all, home. One campus, one devoted team, one holistic approach. Meadows Health, the Tommy and Shirley Strickland Cancer Center in Vidalia.
Our next speaker this morning is Mr. Stan Cooey, headmaster at Trinity Christian School.
As you know, we're a different alternative to our public education system, providing Christian education for K-4 through 12th graders. Last year we had 447 students, and this year we're at 435, which we're excited about. That's a good number for our school, between the 400 and 450 area. Last year we had 42 graduates, just to kind of give you an idea, because people say, do you really get students qualified out there to compete because you're such a small school? We had 88% of our graduates that were HOPE eligible, and 40% was Zell Miller eligible from the scholarship level, which you receive 100% tuition credit, where 88% through HOPE was 90% of that. So we're excited about that, and the education through the academics that we bring to our students, but also along with that is providing a Christian education from our K-4 right on up to our seniors, and that's our required elective, if you want to say that. And we that's one of the things that we strive to do that. It's always nice I'm going to brag on Jan Mims out there. Her daughter is a Trinity graduate, is back at Pine Forest in Christian leadership, and it's always nice, and there may be some others, so I apologize if I don't see you, but I appreciate the opportunity that our students have and the encouragement they have to go into Christian ministry once they, leave school. And, we encourage it and ask them just to be open to God's leading on where they want to go later on. Since last year, we have increased our technology programs at Trinity through our K4 and K5 programs, specifically our K5 we've been able to raise enough money to provide iPads for them, and that's been a encouragement for us to watch probably sometimes the K5 teaching us on how to use that technology. Because they know how to do it, and then we'll continue with that throughout the rest of our program. We've also increased through our middle school and high school technology programs, mobile labs, and again, it may not seem like a big deal, but it is for us. We're not federally or state provided financially, and so it's money that we have to come up with and budget for, and so we're excited about where our technology program has gone over the last year. We have completed a multi-purpose facility, which is used from our K4 through our seniors during the day for PE, recess, and exercise programs. And it's also provided an opportunity for us to keep all of our student athletes on campus after school. Some of you may remember last year I talked about we had several churches in town that was helping us in providing places for them to do basketball or wrestling or cheer off campus, and we appreciate the community support and the way different organizations have reached out to support us. But now we're able to do it on campus, which keeps everybody on campus. We're not traveling, we're not worried about accidents, and we feel like a good, safe environment. And we appreciate the work also of our Sheriff's Department and the work that they've done in coming out to the schools and walking through our campuses, being there and being seen, because I think that's an important part of keeping the schools safe, and then working with us on our training and our drills, because as has already been alluded to, we want to be able to attempt to keep our students safe at all times during the day. Ms. Ashley Warren was mentioned earlier as being part of our Trinity staff. She joined last year as our development director, as Evan Weingartner left for other activities, and we appreciate the work that he did and getting a lot of programs started at school. But if you want to find out some more ways you can help Trinity, Ashley's on board now and doing a great job. I actually told her I think she knows more people in the room than I do. But again, the dual enrollment program is going strong, from our 9th grade through our 12th grade. Once they, meet the college requirements, they're eligible to start online courses as 9th graders and 10th graders and 11th graders and do the dual enrollment. And it is nice to know that the money and the courses, free education that's being offered, that the students and the parents especially appreciate it, being able to take that opportunity and to be able to get up to, the associate's degree or close to that upon graduation. And again, I just want to say thank you for the support of the community. If you ever want to come visit Trinity, just give one of us a call and stop by.
Portions of this program are brought to you by Curry Companies and Curry Residential, your Caldwell banker, providing real estate services since 1902.
Portions of this program are brought to you by Altera Networks.
And I would like to welcome now Dr. Fred Williams, Superintendent, Dublin City Schools.
Some of the things that we're doing, we know that we have to get out and meet people where they are. We partner with the Ocmum bike riding group, so we have literacy bikes, we have a literacy golf cart, and we also have our literacy bus that we're using to eradicate literacy. If you'll be aware of this date, September the 10th, this September the 10th from 11:30 to 1, if you would let your pastors and ministers know, we're having a literacy and laity luncheon at the Dublin High School auditorium. We do a great job in our faith-based institutions of world missions. But how many of you know there's something called home missions? And we have enough missions right here in Vincent Village and Southside and Cedar Grove and other parts in our community that we want to tap into our faith base so we can get some mission work done right here in our community. We thank our Retired Teachers Association who is going to help us staff our literacy bus that will serve the young people of our entire community, because students are transient between the school systems, so they're all of our children. And so we're very excited about all of those efforts. We also have a laser-like focus in terms of our academic infrastructure and academic coaching. We're able to provide our support in the classrooms where we model with teachers, I do it, you do it, we do it type of model, where we have the coaching cycle where we're increasing the efficacy of what's taking place in the classroom with our young people. Also, we have a multi-tiered system of support in the state of Georgia. The whole emphasis throughout the state from the Department of Education's guidance is on the whole child. And so we know that all students do not come at the same level. So we have multi-tiered systems of support where we really try to reach each child where they are and provide them the support that they need academically. Some students, and the purpose of the literacy lab is to reach students from birth to age 4. Because we know that students do come in behind all across America. And so if we can control our input and get a student that's ready to learn and on grade level, certainly we can meet those demands that the state and the nation is expecting where children should be at the end of each grade level, and also produce a better output. Another thing this year that you can expect as we talk about academic infrastructure is wraparound services. We are looking to one that we're going to do internally. We're going to have a laundromat at several locations in our community. You might say, why a laundromat? Well, everybody doesn't have access to clean clothes, whether you're in Lawrence County School System or Dublin City or other public school systems across the state. And as learners begin to get into middle school and high school, that can become a self-esteem problem. And so you really can't understand how much that kid knows and is able to do if they have these other barriers that prevent them from learning. Some could be emotional health and other things that take place. So we're really reaching out to different agencies to be able to wrap around the whole child and be able to help each student be successful. The beauty of it is that none of us were able to choose the womb that we were born out of. By the grace of God, we came out of the womb we came out of, and so our circumstances are different. And so we want to make sure that we provide what it takes for every kid to be able to express what they're able to learn and able to be able to do. We have a laser-like focus on our gifted and accelerated education programs. We have a pull-out model. We have a program at Hillcrest Elementary School. This is its own little entity in terms of the gifted education. And I want you to stay tuned. We're working on a K-8 IB academic offering. We have IB at the high school, and we're really growing our talent. One thing about our IB program at the high school is really a school within a school, great teacher-pupil ratio, and so we know that we have to continue to grow that talent for IB. IB is not for everybody. Our number one goal is high achievement and success for all students in our strategic plan, and we understand that we have to be able to provide other offerings. Most of our IB students receive the biliteracy seal from the state, where they can even speak, write, and read a different language. And so it's a real high-end academic. That K-8 IB Academy won't be for everybody. It's going to be a high-end academic offering that we are offering in our school system. Another thing that we have a laser-like focus on in terms of infrastructure is talent management. We had staff to leave here and there across time, but what we try to do is we try to hire A players for B and C positions. And we've had some great hires from the University of Georgia, Presbyterian College, from the Governor's Office of Student Achievement, and other things to really ramp up the talent that we're managing throughout our school system. And we've been able to hire very skillful talent from other flagship school systems across the state. We do have a laser-like focus on growing our own talent through our Leadership Academy. 3 of our current principals have gone to school from pre-K on up through Dublin City Schools, and now they're leading our learners at our schools, so we're very excited about that. We just got news yesterday that one of our learners, Ms. Leanne Lawrence, she received the Governor's Innovation Teaching Award, so we're very excited about the innovative practices that are going on in our school system. Another thing that we were asked to share are new and existing programs and also how it translates into the workforce. Our current programs, we have a program that we instituted called CEO Friend. For example, Mr. Spence Mullis of Morris Bank is my CEO friend. Marsha Dixon is the CEO friend of Ms. Lakeisha Fluke at Susie Dasher. Mr. Heath Taylor is the CEO friend of our media person, Mr. Jason Halcomb. Ms. Dr. Connie Hampton is the CEO friend from the VA Medical Center to Dr. Sherelle Edmond at Hillcrest Elementary School. Mr. Guy Cochran is the CEO friend of Dr. Jeroy Stuckey at Dublin Middle School. Mr. Tim Chapman, Chief Chapman, is the CEO friend of Mr. Brian Howell at our alternative school. Mr. Jay Studstill is the CEO friend of Dr. Tony Jordan at Dublin High School. And so we have various CEO friends that we have partnered with that we can learn more about leadership from the private sector and business, and we can also educate them about leadership and things as it relates to academia. So it's been a great fruitful relationship where we have really been growing as leaders, and so we want to thank all of our CEO friends for their support in that particular program. Also, we are building tiny houses. Mr. David Kersey, he is also the one who built out the bus for us, and so we're able to use his skill set in that. We have a junior firefighter partnership with the City of Dublin where we have young people who are learning how to become firefighters. They're learning those skills that should translate in the workforce so that we can grow our own right here in our community. We also participate in the Dublin Youth Council where we're really teaching our young people to be civic-minded, providing them the skill sets to be able to be leaders in the community. Various apprenticeship programs, the Great Promise Partnership that Mr. Canada talked about. We have some students at our alternative school, which is an academic and behavior alternative. Moore Street School, you won't find a quieter, smoother ran school anywhere. It's one of the safest schools that I've ever seen, and I've been in a lot of schools across the state. It is our academic and behavior alternative, and the thing that Mr. Howell is doing over there, the young people are going to work at Flex Steel from 8 to 12. They come to school from 12:30 to about 6 in the evening, and they get the academics. If they're late for school, they're going to lose the job. If they're not doing what they're supposed to do at school, they're going to lose the job. Same thing if they're not doing what they're supposed to do at Flex Steel. And so we appreciate the Great Promise partnerships and helping us getting our students work ready. Also apprenticeships with Erdrich and Weber, Dublin Construction. Our school attorney actually hired a student from our school system to work in his office. And so we have over 100 students who are Safe Serve certified. And so I encourage our businesses, our restaurants, to really come to us and tap into us. As I said, we have everything in academia. We have a strategic waiver school system. We have a private school system, P12. We're a charter school system. We can do things differently. We can provide you workforce during the day, after school, to fit your need. Whatever that need is, if you have a particular skill set that you need, come sit down and talk with us. We can implement that in curriculum and train the skilled workforce that you need. We have students at Dublin Middle School and Dublin High School who are already industry certified in Microsoft Office products. We do coding classes at Susie Dasher and Hillcrest, and this week in Ms. Shana Morgan's class, and I think the Rotary partnership that we have for our entrepreneurship program, but they're learning binary code in that particular class. We've been in touch with Stephen Hubby, who used to be in this community with the First Tech Challenge Robotics. We have that at the Career Academy, and First Tech has sought us out to do some things inside of the school system. As we talked about the Air Force ROTC, our culinary arts program with Mr. Denise Strickland is tremendous. Again, over 100 kids who are already SafeServe certified that can go to work right now. Our international baccalaureate program that we talked about, we're very excited about that. Our expectations for the school year is to have a continued focus on continuous improvement. We understand that when you think you're okay, you're really not. That improvement is really like taking a bath that you've never done. And so we're always seeking ways to learn and grow and do things better. We're very excited about our graduation rate. Has been around at 95% at Dublin High School. So we're always seeking ways of making sure that our students are college and career ready. Moore Street's graduation rose over 20% this year. And so we're very excited about offerings that we have to help continue to make sure that we have a very qualified student and workforce as they leave. 44,000. Again, our expectation this year is to eradicate illiteracy. And another thing in order to eradicate illiteracy that our community has to be hypersensitive about and aware of is generational poverty. A lot of us who click our garage doors and we back out of that garage, and if we never really went around Dublin and Lawrence community, whether you're perusing in certain parts of the county or in the city limits, you'll run across generational poverty. And the penal system determines the number of prison beds that it will have in future projections based on the number of students from whatever academic institution that they come from who is able to read on grade level by third grade. Why the literacy bus? No, not just to have a pretty bus, but to eradicate illiteracy and to attack generational poverty. All we have to do is look at Ben Carson and see what can happen when someone becomes highly educated and who can peruse through a book and have never gone outside of their community, but that book takes them places that they never have gone before. The average cost to incarcerate a person for a year is $44,000. Isn't that amazing? Would you rather pay $44,000 to employ someone who could contribute to the economy, or would we rather see $44,000 extracted from the economy with never really an input, a meaningful input going back in the economy? That's nearly $100,000 per inmate over time. So about 10 inmates, that's about $1 million that we're have the potential of going into the penal system where we're not really doing anything to have a productive citizen coming out. Imagine infusing that sort of capital that we're spending incarcerating people. Imagine infusing that back into the economy and even your business. Imagine that $1 million and just what we can do. We're hypersensitive in academia about eradicating generational poverty because you can think it's not going to affect you one way or another. It could affect you in a Walmart parking lot with someone coming up to you trying to take care of their family in the only way they know how. And so if we could all work together, if we could put down the stereotypes, if we could come together as a community, L4G grant, literacy for leading, learning, and living. Isn't that what we want as a community? To lead, to learn, and to live. And so that's what this grant that the Lawrence County school system has been fortunate enough to receive, and we as the city school system, and we appreciate your trust in us. We could not do the work that we do without the support of the community, and we have to lay aside of our differences because too much is at stake. We all want our children to come back to this community, to be able to be safe, to learn and to grow, and so it really takes all of us continuing to come together. You ought to expect quality from Trinity, from Lawrence County, and from Dublin City. We're pushing for that, and I appreciate my colleagues because we're in constant conversations on how we can do it better. It might look differently, but I guarantee you this, that we're meeting the needs of all the young people in this community. And I want to applaud you, all of you who have been stepping up to put your shoulder to the plow. On your table, you see the book, How to Catch a Leprechaun. This is one book, Dublin and Lawrence County, and we're going to ask everyone in this community for this to be the book for this year, for this academic year. You can obtain a copy, or we're going to let one of the businesses take that copy. We want to see this book in every business and every nook and cranny in this community. We want this entire community to read this book, to have conversations about this book. We're going to roll this bus out. We're going to attack that birth to age 4 group. And we're going to have conversations about this book all across Dublin City, Lawrence County. And so we're looking forward to your partnership in reading this book. If you would like a copy, if you don't get a copy, if you would stop by the board office and see Ms. Jamie Ray. Ms. Jamie, if you'll stand up, please, so they can see you, and ask for Ms. Jamie Ray, and we'll be sure to get you a copy. We want to thank our colleagues at the Department of Education. The governor's office will be here tonight at our First Friday event, and we want to thank this entire community of rallying around together to end generational poverty and to eradicate illiteracy. And we thank you for your support of your school systems in the Dublin and Lawrence community. God bless you.